Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome if you are new to the channel. Welcome back if you love me. I love you too. We just wrapped up a mirror reading, and I knew I was going to end up doing Scorpio when I started the mirror reading. I already knew, like, I had the thumbnails ready. Spirit was guiding me Scorpio. So it is 2 o'clock in the morning, which y'all know is way late for me these days. Way late for me these days. I'm usually up at like 4:30, 4:50 in the morning for my day job, and I was up hella fucking early this morning for my day job. We're still awake. Spirit would have it. So I'm just clearing out the energy from the last read. Clearing y'all's energy out to prepare you for this one. There will be in the replay timestamps afterwards in the comments and the description so that you guys can fast forward to whatever you want. I did reshake Pineapple Charming really, really good off camera because, you know, he's loud. I got ash everywhere now. So we're going to start there. Okay. Let's start with Pineapple Charming. All right. So for those of you who are new to the channel and not familiar with Pineapple Charming is a synchronicity pineapple filled with well over 1,000 charms for your adornment. All right. It is really easy to get addicted to online tarot and collective readings and trying to force every single one to fit. But that's not healthy. Okay. So if one or more of the charms resonate to you, chances are there is something in this message for you, whether it is the message in its entirety or just one thing I say and you're like, that's why the charm came out so that I would hear her say that specifically, right? And Spirit guided you to it for that reason. If for whatever reason none of the charms resonate with you, that's fine. I mean, you could still hold space for the people whose message it does belong to. You could still take some kind of wisdom from it, even though it doesn't necessarily pertain directly to your life, right? These messages are to help you discern what you're already feeling and sensing, not to create new problems. So if there's something going on in the charms that's drawing your attention to the message, there is a reason for it. And if there's no charms, then don't panic. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing important that's like dire for you to take away that you don't already know, you know? So let's get into those charms. Spirit, please, for Scorpio and those who have strong or significant scorpionic placements. What does Spirit want to connect you to? Heck, sometimes the charms in and of themselves end up giving messages. All right. Thank you, Mr. Charming. Appreciate you. Let me get my pin board out here. All right. So first charm out, we've got a water bottle. You may literally have one that looks like that, or have been making it a point to drink more water lately, or have had that conversation with yourself, like I really need to start drinking like more water, right? Having that conversation with yourself. We also have snow globe. So synchronistically, you literally may have had your hands on one recently. May have been gifted one or will be gifted one. All right, snow globes. Ooh, we've also got, I love this little charm. It's the treasure chest. And this one is a love treasure. That is a love treasure. So Scorpio, what do you got to do to open up this chest? What do you got to do to open up the chest? We've also got seashell. Very nice pearly white color. You may have literally gone through, because I was just guided to it, right? Gone through that process like a pearl does inside of a clam or an oyster, where it's protected inside the clamshell, right? This limited experience, but it's filled with grit, right? It's wildly uncomfortable. And yet the value that you have coming out on the other side of it is really high, right? So you might have been through a very limited life experience so far. Maybe you've been rather closed off from your own divinity, or, you know, whatever. You feel like there's so much more for you to understand or learn. But you've been going through the grit process first, right? You're only now starting to find your value, discover your value, after going through intense discomfort in life, right? We've also got, fortune. That's Jupiter energy, Sagittarius energy. That is the fortune card. You may be in touch with someone who does fortunes and or read them yourself, right? I know quite a few Scorpios who card read. We've also got the rose inside the golden glass. So total Beauty and the Beast synchronicity here. You might feel your own potential. You might actually feel it. You might be in the, and you could switch it or flip it, right? You might feel like Beast in the presence of Belle, right? Belle, who is capable of catalyzing great and beautiful change within the self of another. Or you might actually feel like Belle, right? Where you are in the presence of a beast who has wild potential to be beautiful in their energy, right? But they need some time and patience and some refining, right? They might need some refining in their energy, right? Not necessarily their physical appearance, but their energy might need refining. We've also got chainsaw. So you might be cutting down trees lately and or cutting your own Christmas tree, or be cutting up firewood, like cutting up old dead trees, whatever you're doing. You might work with wood. Okay. Might be a landscaper. I don't know. However, that's synchronistic for you. We also have wedding bells. It's funny, I was just talking about bell, right? The play on words, and we got the wedding bells. So you may literally be with a partner right now, especially because, I mean, if we're talking about Beauty and the Beast, they do end up together, right? You may actually have a potential long-term commitment with someone in your reality right now. Okay. And I do stress potential because if we are talking Beauty and the Beast type energy, and just getting out of the mirror reading that we did, it was all about choices. Like, you have to be able to make your highest good choices and align with it. If you don't make your highest good choices to align with it, it's not going to work out. Like, life is not a fairy tale unless we choose it to be, right? So we have the potential for real high partner material with wedding bells. Okay, that's a committed, healthy partnership. That's what wedding bells indicate. We all know that sometimes marriages get toxic, but it's different when you're married to your higher self and soul and having that reflected in your outer, right? That's your happily ever after person. We also got an axe. So might definitely be working with wood or chopping wood or dealing with shit like that. Could also be a firefighter, because I do believe this is a fire axe as well. Okay, so you might volunteer fire department or know someone who does. Dalmatian just came back out. We had the Dalmatian in the mirror reading. So Dalmatians or other spotted dogs might be synchronistic for you. We've also got our Made with Love charm. So you might be hand making gifts, hand making ornaments, hand making cards. You might have a business where you make things homemade, right? So made with love. That might also very much be you, right? That the universe loves you and that you were made with love. Even if you've gone through a whole lot of grit, the value of you is really high. And so spirit is letting you know, like, it's put you through what is essentially a very gritty hell-like process, because only the best results really come to people who have gone through that kind of fire and survived it, who came out stronger instead of weaker, right? That the universe shaped you and your experience, as hard as it was, for the right reason, right? That if it didn't do exactly what it did, if you didn't witness or experience or live through exactly what you did, you wouldn't actually hold the value that you do right now. And that value is priceless when you tap into it, right? We've also got the Purple Heart. Got a Purple Heart charm. I don't know how purple it looks on the camera, but it says purple is my hoodie, to be fair. Okay. And then we've got a few micro playing cards. We've got the Eight of Hearts, the Ace of Hearts, the Three of Spades, and the King of Spades. Ooh. Almost flung the King of Spades right off the table. All right, so I got my little micro playing cards there. The hearts are the tarot equivalent of the cups, and the spades are the tarot equivalent of the swords. Okay. So with that kind of energy, Eight of Cups, or the Eight of Hearts, and the Ace of Hearts, this is where you're moving forward into a brand new beginning in love. The Ace of Hearts, or the Eight of Hearts, moves forward from something that is unfulfilling in order to find their 10 of Cups, right? And the 10, 1 and 0, breaks down to a 1, which is essentially the ace, right? But instead of the actual manifestation of the fulfillment, which is the 10, it is the beginning of that. And so you have this ability right now to move forward out of energy that is unfulfilling or lacking of that content feeling, that safe, warm feeling, right, that we get inside when life is truly good and it's not just a temporary, fleeting moment of happiness or joy, but that literal having crossed the finish line and the race is over, and you finally can just be, where you're out of the grit, so to speak. The Three of Spades with the King of Spades may also have you feeling rather cold because you've been through a lot of pain. And so the universe is working on warming you up right now, because you definitely may have disconnected from your feelings. You may have detached from your emotions. You may have even detached from your intuition and what it's guiding you to do, because the pain body is real, right? The pain body is real. So you may be getting intuitive pings to improve in a certain area, right? Because we're talking about beast, Beauty and the Beast energy. You may be getting pings to improve in a certain area of your life. You may be getting pings to elevate as a person, right? To grow out of your old version and into a new one. And maybe resisting those intuitive pings to shift because the pain is very present. And so this is to help you acknowledge the fact that your pain body, if left unchecked and you remain unconscious about it, right, you're no longer aware of it, that it might actually interfere with the love opportunity coming in, right? That the universe is trying to overflow unconditional love to you and give you the value of all that you've gone through, right? That all that you've gone through in this life was not for nothing, right? Or to just receive more of it or nothing at all, right? Because sometimes people are like, well, my life is shit. Now I'm afraid to live, you know, my best life, because what if it turns out shit? And Spirit's like, listen, I didn't put you through all that shit for nothing. It shaped you into who you are. You're a beautiful, valuable pearl, and you deserve to be shown off. You deserve to be valued. You deserve to be admired. Like, please step into that energy that you would allow yourself to be beautiful and admired, right? That you hold your best value, right? That you wouldn't devalue yourself because of pain that you've been through, right? That you wouldn't let the pain define you, but the luster that you've gotten from it, right? So outside of Scorpionic energy, we also have Capricorn. So you may be Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, if you're watching it for a different Scorpio placement. We also have Aries and Cancer. Okay, so you may have strong Aries or Cancer. These are also all three cardinal signs. All three, they're all cardinal. The only one that's missing is Libra. Okay. So you may have really significant Capricorn, Aries, or Cancerian placements, and that's probably where you need to focus on, especially if you have like Libra wounding and that's what's missing. It might also need to be what's being looked at, because that's what you're missing, right? Missing seeing. So Capricorn, Aries, Cancer. Also Scorpio, because Aries just reminded me of it. Mars is in Sag and the moon is Cancer ruled, right? But it's literally in Aries right now as I'm recording this. And when I was doing the mirror reading, I was talking about how I've had that Britney Spears, I've got that boom boom stuck in my head. It's been in my head all fucking day. And I was acknowledging that as much as there's a very high sexual drive right now, to like fuck all weekend kind of thing, like high fire, high passion, high sexual chemistry type energy right now. I had mentioned that the feeling, if you're sexually attracted to someone or desiring someone, right, feeling that passion or that burn to fuck the shit out of them, chances are the feeling is mutual. Okay. Between you and that person, even though it's probably very secret with Venus still being in your sign. Okay. It is further down the road with Mars being in Sag. You're getting there. Okay. You're getting there. You're feeling the energy now because it's manifesting for later. Right now, the focus in high alignment would be to liberate yourself, and get into your own individual emotions and start visualizing what it is that you really want to do in order to achieve your highest goal, right? If your highest goal is to be physically intimate with someone, no matter what kind of sexy time it is, then how do you align yourself, right? Liberate yourself and align yourself with that vision, right? How do you get there? Especially because there's Mercury retrograde right now. You don't actually want to start anything new during Mercury retrograde. This is a time of reflection, so that once Mercury goes direct, you can start building towards the vision because you've reflected on potential blocks that would keep you from it, right? It's kind of like the time where Beast is waiting on Belle to come back, right? And he hasn't transformed into the prince yet, you know, which would be post Mercury retrograde. He's kind of in this reflective state where he's reflecting on the beauty of Belle and what it would take for him to truly let himself open to receive her in her best light, that she would want to stay with him forever, right? And never leave. So that's kind of the energy that I feel like you're about to move through. All right, if you're not actively moving through it already. Okay, because this is more than just sexy time. This is Ace of Cups type energy. This is wedding bells type energy, whether you are actively looking for a spouse or not, right? You're still manifesting a life partner. You still have the potential to find your forever person. And at the end of the day, if your wounds, right, if you put we're talking about missing Libra energy, right? Let's bring it into the reading. If we're talking about your wounds on one side of the scale and your forever person on the other, your wounds might tell you my forever person is not out there. I don't want to get wrapped up in a relationship ever again, right? It's too much. It's too much responsibility. It's too heavy, blah, blah, blah. But then on the other side of the scale, your forever person, the relationship is easy. It flows really well. Instead of being heavy, it actually lightens the load. It makes life more comfortable. It flows easier, right? If you had your forever person, your true forever person on this side of the scale, would you really let your wounds get in the way? Because that's what you're weighing. How important are your wounds? What if Beast never changed? What if Beast didn't value Belle enough to change? And he stayed the Beast? Then what? What if Beast just stayed a Beast forever? And the petals fell and he was gone, right? Beast was gone. That was the end of his story right there. What if he never got the happily ever after with Belle? What if he was never transformed? Would have been a really fucking sad life, would it not? Beast would have lived a sad life. And so we're talking about the weighing of the pros and cons of staying wounded. Right? Like, yeah, you might never risk getting hurt again, but you'll probably hurt a little all the time because you never actually have this, and this is what was possible, right? The happily ever after or the forever person was possible. And so even if you're not ready for it as of right now, which you don't have to be, it's allowing yourself to be open to the idea, the faith in the concept that it's still possible for you, even if you're not mentally prepared to go and, you know, get married tomorrow kind of thing. You're still willing to find that forever person and not completely close yourself off in your wounds, because that 3 of spades that cuts you off and keeps your emotions out of it, keeps your feelings out of it, that wall, right, to protect the self from getting hurt is what will actually end up hurting you in the long run, right? What we resist persists and what we fear appears. So if you're afraid of getting hurt, that's exactly what's going to fucking happen. Allow yourself the ability to flow more, to not be afraid and just flow more. Okay. With letters. Now, for people who need it super specific, it's super specific. Not everybody needs it super specific, so don't get hung up on the colors of the letters. Blue is for boys and pink is for girls. It doesn't matter to me what you resonate as. It just has to make sense and resonate to you, between you and you. I've also got black and white. That's yin and yang. So black is yin, that's feminine dominant regardless of gender, and white is yang, that is masculine dominant regardless of gender, okay? I've got blue H and blue U. Okay. So these could be first, middle, or last name initials. Pink. I've got B, I, F, H, C. That's all pink. Okay. Black, I have S. White, I have G. And I have C. Okay. So as far as potential words or letters with these things, we got US, so you might live in the US. We've also got fish, so you may have gone fishing or have ordered fish recently or cooked it yourself. We've also got hug, so you may have offered a hug, been talking about hugs, given a hug recently, received one. And it might stand out because maybe you don't always talk like that or even receive that, right? We also have, we also have Kush, which, to be fair, me being the expat that I am, is totally weed. You might also be thinking about getting some cushions. Maybe you have cushion for the cushion. I don't know. Oh my God. All right. We might also have. Yeah, I got the word high too. So you might be high right now. You might be stoned. You might be fucking stoned. To each their own. To each their own. You might be high right now, Scorpio. Let's see. I'm also a T shy of the B word, but I do have bish. All right. I've also got a K shy of FUC. K. Really. Scorpio. If these aren't fucking Scorpio words, I don't know what the heck is. I've also got shh. So there's definitely some kind of secrets right now. I also got fib. FIB. So someone might have told a fib that they need to come clean on. And even if it's not a complete and utter fib, if it was misleading in some way or skewed the truth in some way, it's probably better to come clean. So that it doesn't create confusion or animosity later. The truth is the way. The truth is the way. Never underestimate the power of the truth. Those in alignment will accept the truth and move forward with you. Those who are in misalignment will hear the truth and they'll go on their own way. And you got to thank the universe for it, because if you had maintained that lie, you would have kept someone who would have, detoured you off your highest path in your life too long. Right? For real, for real. We've also got HUH. So don't act like you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, Scorpio. Don't act like you don't know. All right. Any of these could be initials. I've also got suck. Really, Scorp? Of all the letters. Of all the letters. I've also got SC, so South Carolina is still coming out. I don't know why I'm being drawn to the word cis, so you might be a natural male or female. natural born. I've also got hub here. So you may be on the porn hub lately or whatever other hub you've got. Really, Scorpio. I've also got fig. So fig might be synchronistic for you, whether you're, maybe your family makes fig pudding or whatever. You got something close to you that relates to that energy. I've also got cig. So like CIG, like cigarettes or cigar. So you may be a smoker. You might want to quit that. I'm just saying, it's my own personal opinion. There's nothing in the light attributes that pander to addictive things. All right. So names, we could have Christine, Charlie, Carl, Christian, Samantha, Ian, Grace, or Greg, George, Henry, Harry, Frank, Brian. I don't really know any U names besides Ulysses. So names, first, middle, or last could be C, S, I, F, G, U, H, or B. Ooh, I also got the word bugs. B-U-G-S. Which might be a warning for some of you about bugs. So whether you may be having issues with bugs, other people might be having issues with bugs, and you might want to be really careful about having people over your house, especially for the holidays or whoever you're visiting, that you don't bring bugs home if you end up staying at someone's house and they have bugs, right? Be really fucking careful. Be really careful. I feel like this could also be like a mental bug, like parasitic type energy. So be careful that other people aren't poisoning your own thoughts or telling you certain things are impossible or making you feel like you can't change for whatever reason, especially if we're talking about upgrading. All right. We also got cubs. C-U-B-S. So you may be seeing like bear cubs. You might be a Cubs fan. To be fair, I almost always have Chicago too. I got C-H-I-C. I'm missing the A. I got the G. I'm missing the O. I'm a couple vowels shy. So, yeah, Chicago Cubs might definitely be a synchronicity. All right. So, if any of those charms, letters, names abbreviations, whatever makes sense to you. Chances are there is something in this message for you if there hasn't already been something in the message for you. All right. So let's get the AstroDice. This could further explain how much the reading is for you if it's your own big three. Might also give you some insight into who you may be dealing with, right? Who the message would pertain to, depending what comes out on the dice, okay? We've got Sagittarius, Mercury, and 12th house. Okay. So you may literally have Mercury retrograding in your 12th house right now, or retrograding into your 12th house if you are a Capricorn rising and Sagittarius is in your 12th house. That might be super specific if you are a Capricorn rising, especially because Capricorn came out in the charms. Okay. You may also be dealing with a Sag. Their sun sign might fall into your 12th house. This could also be Pisces or Gemini Virgo, right? Because Mercury is ruled by Gemini Virgo. 12th house is naturally Pisces house. So we have all 4 mutable signs on the fucking dice. Mutable. Which is literally screaming shift, 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 right? Mutability is changeability. It's shiftability, growability. So growth. We might be dealing with fears and how you communicate, not just with your words, but your actions, and how your fears can determine the long-term destination if you don't get your mind in check, right? You might want to go watch the mirror reading, because your energy is everything. If you don't keep your fears in check, they will manifest and they will sabotage the shit out of your highest good path. Leave you feeling cursed. You may also be a Sag rising and have like the off houses with Placidus and stuff. So make sure, it might be Mercury retrograding in your 12th house if you're a Sag rising as well. So this is going to be significant for any mutable sign. Okay, especially in the 12th house, 9th house, 3rd house, 6th house. Those are the mutable houses. All right. Gemini, 3rd house, Virgo, 6th house, Sag, 9th house, Pisces, 12th house. You might have Mercury in any of those signs. You might have the Sun in any of those signs. You might have Neptune in any of those signs. Jupiter could be in any of those signs. All right. I say the Sun because it is literally, well, the Sag season was until about a couple hours ago. It's officially Cap season now, so you might have a Sun in Cap, right? You might be a Capricorn Sun and be cross-watching Scorpio because you have different Scorpio placement, right? Scorpio moon, rising, north node, something like that. All right? So you may be dealing with someone who is also strong in those signs and or houses, right? Like I'm a Sag stellium. It's in my 6th house, right? Virgo's 6th house. So even though it's my stellium and Sag, Virgo's natural house. You get what I'm saying. So you figure out how it works for you that it would speak to you. All right, we're going to get into the Harrow. Yeah, we're going to get into the Harrow. All right. So here we go. For those of you not familiar with Harrow, they are D&D, Dungeons and Dragons cards. The wordage in the book, very Dungeons and Dragon-esque. Okay, I will translate it into modern real life energy. But as I read it, the little blips from the book for you, just keep it in mind. Okay. All right, Spirit. What does Scorpio need to know that we would be guided to this reading? What is in their highest good to understand? We got the owl and the cricket. The owl just came out in the mirror reading. And the cricket came out in Sagittarius's reading. So did the winged serpent. That came out in Sag's reading too. You might definitely be dealing with a Sag. And we got the uprising in reverse. I'm being told to keep going. The locksmith. With the trumpet, the idiot, the eclipse, the rabbit prince, and the inquisitor. All right. The lost is on bottom. And the mute hag is on top. This bitch. Really, these two cards came out. And I just shuffled them, right? They came out top and bottom in another reading. Or they were both present in another reading. I don't remember which reading it was. It was this week. I'll have to go back and look. The mute hag and the lost. Really, that's the top and bottom energy. All right, Scorpio, this is going to give you insight into yourself or someone that you're dealing with. All right, take it as it resonates. Do not force it to fit. Y'all got the charms already. Okay, do not force it to fit. It's only your message if you resonate with the charms. Okay. The mute hag and the lost. They're both evil aligned. The mute hag is neutral and the lost is chaotic. The mute hag might be silent, but the eye she holds lets her see into the hearts of men. The hag invokes blood pacts and poisonous secrets, the kind that turn brother against brother and son against father. It is a card that performers loathe and leaves them stumbling over their words and songs. The lost is the card of emptiness and lost identity. The Bodak shown is forever mad, lost in a world of lunatics, insane asylums, and mass killers. For those under its influence, the world makes no sense. It evokes times where all is babble, as when meeting someone who speaks only in another tongue. So these two cards coming out together is hardcore miscommunication. Okay. And or quite literally manipulative communication, and or truth that if spoken could tear people apart. Okay, could tear people apart if the truth is spoken. It also indicates, Scorp, that you might be feeling crazy in a world where everybody is not like you. Okay. And you might be afraid. You might be afraid of certain things coming to light, which might be why fib came out in the beads, right, in the charms. If you've got any little white lies or any little fibs or any little omissions or anything that would skew whatever and potentially ruin something, if you value it or value the potential of it, it would behoove you to let go of the fib, right? Override the fear and communicate, right? Mercury, Sag, 12th house. 12th house is a house of fears. You might really need to override that fear and communicate Mercury, because there's a long distant goal that requires you to be optimistic, right? Sag energy. So please keep that in mind. If you've got any little fibs out there, and you could see yourself potentially hitting a goal with someone or something, that fib might get in the way, you might really want to come clean with it. Especially if someone else knows the truth and or could spit it out and kind of ruin it. Because then what are you going to say, right? Stumbling over words, speaking in two different languages. Like someone might be looking at you like, yeah, well, I deal in truth. And you're like, yeah, but I only lied because I didn't want to hurt you. And the other person's like, yeah, but if you're not going to hurt me, then I need you to tell me the truth. You can't lie to me to keep me from being hurt. You know what I mean? You're speaking two different languages. One person is telling you that truth is the way to not hurt me. And the other person is saying, no, lying is the way to not hurt you. You might want to listen to the person that says, this is how you should treat me, right? This is how I prefer to be treated. I'd rather be treated with the truth, right? So you kind of, you might want to do that, because right now that's the top and bottom of the deck. That's the issue that the universe or spirit is bringing to your attention. There's a potential fumble, and it hasn't fumbled yet. But having a loss of identity, right? With the lost card, it talks about a loss of identity. You have to decide who you are. And probably real quick, you have to decide who you are. Like, are you honest or are you a liar? Are you dependable and stable mentally, or are you unreliable and unstable? Because liars are typically unstable, right? That's manipulation. That's motive, right? Or are you genuine? Are you a manipulative person, or are you genuine? What is your identity? How do you want people to see you? Because at some point, like if you're a liar, they're going to perceive you as a liar at some point, especially if someone else shows them and tells them. Like once you're perceived that way, it's really hard to undo it. Trust me, it is really hard to undo it. Once you lie to somebody and you start doubling down on that lie, and then you're telling other lies to back up that lie, and then you got a train of lies, and it's like, maybe you just should have told the truth from the beginning. Like, this is the situation, you know, this is what is going on, this is how I feel, blah, 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 and just be honest. Because like I said, people in alignment with you are either going to be in alignment with you or they're not. If they're not, let them go. Tell the truth and let them go. If they don't want to be with you because you told the truth, well, then you just dodged a bullet then. You're not wasting your time. You're not misaligning yourself or detouring and getting punished by karma for not listening to your intuition that says, hey, it doesn't feel good to lie. You get stressed out when you lie, right? You have anxiety when you lie. So in order to avoid feeling anxious and worried and in a fear state, right, that you're going to lose whatever, or that you're not worthy of whatever because you're a liar, just tell the truth. Right? Just tell the truth. Don't keep it a secret. Right? Even if it's not a lie outright, don't keep it a secret. Just be upfront and honest, right? Sag energy. Communicate upfront and honest about what you're dealing with or what you're afraid of. You know, and if you already lied or you already fibbed, then explain why you lied. Just be honest. Why did you do it? Right? Why did you fib? You know, address it. Because like I said, anybody who is meant to move forward with you is probably going to appreciate that you are honest despite having lied. Like I taught my son that when he was younger, like, because naturally kids don't want to get in trouble, right? There's something that they don't want to get in trouble for. Or they're trying to protect themselves from getting hurt in some way. And so they lie, right? They lie to protect themselves only to end up hurt. Right. So I used to tell my son, like, listen, I don't care if you already lied. I don't care if you've already lied like 4 or 5 times. I need you to tell me the truth, though, so I could help you. You know what I mean? Like, and my son now, he's honest with me. He don't fucking lie to me. Because he knows if he did, it's only going to hurt him. So take a lesson from Sag's book, especially if you've got like Saggy detriments in your chart. Like, it's something that you probably need to work on healing, right? Whether it's like Chiron and Sag, which would be healing yourself and not martyring yourself, necessarily blurting things out, but able to speak the truth in a way that is more accurate. If you've got Lilith in Sag, that would be liberating yourself with the truth instead of abandoning yourself with things that just come out that aren't necessarily true, right? Reactionary or gut responses, because Sag does tend to blurt things out. Self-abandonment with Lilith in her shadow would be just saying something because you're panicking and having to liberate yourself and tell the truth after, right? Because the light of Sag is the truth sayer, right? So even if you lied, if you have Lilith in Sag, you're going to have to learn to liberate yourself with the truth, even if your gut reaction was to fib, right? Override that 12th house fear. Okay. That's what you're working on. Especially because someone always knows the truth. Someone always knows the truth. Unless someone literally did something by themselves and there were no witnesses, someone else always knows the truth. So if the truth is known by more than just you, the truth always comes out, dude. Like, always. You're better off truly just being fucking honest. All right. So the owl just came out in the mirror read. And it's a neutral card. So it's not lawful, it's not chaotic, it's not evil, and it's not good. It's just true neutral. And it represents the eternal wisdom of natural order. It is the harsh realism that causes a pack of wolves to cull the weak in the herd. It is tragic for the culled deer, but through such actions, the herd grows stronger. The needle the owl holds binds life together, but can just as easily pick it apart. Right. So this is the natural order. This is divine order or universal law, that like attracts like, right? That law of attraction, that law of gender, feminine and masculine, yin and yang energy within the self, you know, laws of relativity, like it could be worse, right? Remembering it could be worse, right? If I don't tell the truth now, even though I already lied, it could be worse later, right? If I let the lie drag out. I'm probably better off doing it now, right? It could be worse, right? At least it's only been, you know, X amount of time that this lie or fib or omission or secret or whatever has been taking place. Like, you're better off just being honest, right? Because all is just. Wisdom would tell you it's all just. It's all the natural order of things. You manifest whatever you manifest because you chose it. If you choose to do things that don't feel good or choose to say things that don't feel good, they don't sit right with your soul. When I talk about feeling good or not feeling good, it either does or doesn't sit right with your soul. Lying doesn't sit right with the soul. That's the natural order of things. Like attracts like is an energy thing. So whatever doesn't feel good to your soul, you really need to accept clearing that up one bit at a time as you can. Right? Do as you're guided. It doesn't feel good in your soul to force things, but you might need to just truly accept a certain path right now. Certain things that need to become undone, right? The needle, certain things need to become undone, and other things need to be stitched together, right? It came out with the cricket. Now the cricket is a card of things coming in fast. Okay. The cricket is a card of coming in fast. It's a neutral good card. And it says the cricket is a grig, a creature whose mind is as quick as its body. It represents speed and quick passage. Although the cricket is commonly associated with travel, the peach it sits by represents treasure at the end. Right. And it's not misaligned. It's not in reverse. So if you can act on it quickly, right? Mind and body, if you can act on it quickly, quick passage, speed and quick passage, I think you'll get out of whatever danger or harm's way you would have been in, right? Whatever misalignment you would have been in, and find yourself getting that treasure at the end, right? That the peach represents. I think you're going to get closer to it a whole lot faster, telling the truth, right? That is a big message that's coming through with your reading, is the truth. Big energy coming through with the truth. The more aligned with the truth you are, the faster Spirit's working for you right now. All right. The winged serpent. This is energy number 2. Okay, that was the first energy out here. We've got the winged serpent, which is lawful good. All right, it's contracted blessings, right? Contracted good energy. The winged serpent is a powerful being. Knowledge and prudence are separate keeps bridged by understanding. The 𝘗𝘗𝗕𝗥𝗦𝗛 represents this bridge, knowing whether now is the time to strike. So doing as you're guided is important. Prudence and knowledge are separate, bridged by understanding. There is a time to know and a time to act. And you have to understand the relationship between the two, because just because we know something doesn't mean we have to act on it right now. Prudence. We have to be able to know that the choice is going to be made and then trust that the opportunity will present itself. It doesn't have to be forced or ignored. Matter of fact, it cannot be forced or ignored. It has to be acknowledged and then accepted that you will surrender to that knowledge at the right time and act on it at the right time. Like, you might know the lie you told, right? Or the fib that you told, or the secret that you're keeping right now. And you can accept that the truth has to be told. I accept that. All right, Spirit, I accept that. The truth has to be told. Let me know the right time. Set that up for me. Because I'm not going to force it. And I sure as shit I'm not going to ignore it, because I know if I ignore it, it's going to come back in karma, right? Wisdom would have it. The wisdom of the owl, right? The owl wants you to have the treasure at the end. So know that if you are meant to clear something up, that you can trust that the opportunity will present itself. It'll be the right time. You just have to seize it. Okay, you just have to seize the time, seize the opportunity to clear it up. You don't have to force it and go calling anybody or texting anybody right now. You know what I mean? Like, all right, Spirit, I know what truth I got to tell. I know what secret I got to let out. Let the universe line it up so I can do that and clear myself of that energy. Just accepting the surrender will help your energy. You'll start manifesting better, right? That law of relativity. So just accept whatever you need to accept. Maybe you need to move out. Maybe you need to find a new job. Maybe you need to tell your boss, right, that you're finding new work. But you're not going to tell your boss, right? An example would be you're not going to tell your boss that you're putting in, your 2 weeks notice until you found a job. You're not going to tell your boss you're looking for new work right now, not knowing if you found one or not. Like, the truth is you're going to leave. But the prudence part would be knowing that the right time is the right time to tell. All right, you got your new job set up. You tell your boss, hey, boss, I'm putting in my 2 weeks. Knowing when the right time to act is. Right? You don't want to say it early. You want to get your ducks in a row first, right? Sometimes an action has to be taken first. So just know what you got to do and know that the right time will present itself. You'll know when, because it'll feel good in your soul to communicate it then, right? The uprising that it came out with is in reverse, so it's misaligned. It's chaotic neutral naturally, and it's upright. So in reverse, misaligned, it would be lawful neutral, okay? The uprising, and it's upright, represents being caught in the clutches of something more powerful than you, and it's an overwhelming strength that often crushes what comes into contact with it. The crown held high signifies an overthrowing of a leader of some sort. In the spread, it indicates a force much stronger than the person receiving the reading. So the winged serpent, right, being the lawful energy that it is, lawful good. The uprising reversed being lawful neutral. This is spirit kind of guaranteeing your empowerment. You're stronger than you realize. You're not going to be crushed. You're going to be elevated. You're not going to be overthrown. You're going to be crowned. Think about that. If you can know and act in accordance with flow, that gets you what is essentially in quote unquote God's good graces. That's alignment with divine will. And doing that puts you in your highest energy. That you are more powerful than you realize. That you're in the divine's hands. And allowing it to guide you. Feeling that force much greater than yourself actually helping you. Because you're in alignment. Your energy feels good. You've made things right with your soul. You've acknowledged the way your soul feels about something. And chose alignment with it. Right. Now the locksmith. This is the third energy. The locksmith is lawful neutral and presents the subject with the keys you need to unlock your destiny. They grant the tools to access new locations, clues, or treasures. And we had that love treasure box come out in the charms, right? Presents the keys that you'll need to unlock your destiny, access to new locations, clues, or treasures, but does not grant insight into how or where to use the keys. The card often represents a strange, ancient, or magical object. This is like Chiron. This is the strange, ancient, or magical energy that comes along with understanding your Chiron, your healing. Chiron can give you the key to unlock your destiny, but it's not going to tell you how or where to use it. That you have to do as you're guided. That's connecting with that. So there's very real things, right? Because we were talking about the pearl and going through the grit, right? Chiron has to heal a lot of wounds that people put on them, right? People that they love, that they helped, that betrayed them in some which way, shape, or form. I think that you've gotten the keys from past experiences, but you haven't necessarily connected the wisdom and how to unlock what's right in front of you now. Right? Like past relationships may not have gone that well, but you haven't necessarily understood why on your end, how you could have done better or chose better, and are applying that to your current situation. Right? Like maybe fibbing in the past didn't actually help your relationship any. Maybe right now you're not actually aware of just how much your fibbing or your secrets damaged your relationship, right? Trying not to hurt somebody with the truth. So the fibs or the lies or the secrets hurt them instead, right? You haven't actually learned that key to use it with what's in front of you right now, which is why Spirit's having this conversation with you. Right? There are certain things from your past relationships, actions that you took in misalignment, right? Doing things that didn't sit right in your soul to avoid certain things, right? Especially if you were trying to protect yourself or someone else that you love, which is typically why we lie, right? To protect the self or others we love from being hurt. You haven't accepted or learned the lesson that actually is what causes the hurt, though. You're better off telling people the truth. I used to say it to my ex all the time. I was like, don't fucking lie to me. Like, you're better off telling me the truth. I can deal with the truth. I can work with the truth. I cannot work with you and help you if you're fucking lying to me. I need to know what's really going on. I need to know what you really feel. Like, you can't lie to me or I can't work with it. He couldn't fucking help himself. He was a fucking pathological liar. But I digress. You know what I mean? Like, you've got to be able to learn it. You've got to be able to learn it. The universe would teach you every single time you act in misalignment, it doesn't work out well. So now if you have new opportunities or new people or new situations in front of you, don't fucking repeat the old cycles again, right? If there were certain things that got in the way before, don't let them get in the way now. Like, it's the one thing I always said about addicts, right? Addicts are liars. Addicts are liars because you either are a liar or you aren't. You either lie sometimes or you don't lie at all, right? If you lie 1% of the time, you're a liar 1% of the time, which means you're not a liar. Someone who is not a liar doesn't lie. So even if you lie 1% of the time, you're a liar, right? Addicts lie. They're like, oh no, I don't have a problem with it. I could stop any day. Or no, I don't even drink that much. Or no, I don't even smoke like that. No, I don't even whatever. No, I don't have a problem. It's cool. But they do, though. Addicts lie. They lie about where their money's going because maybe they bought some shit that they shouldn't have bought. Right? Maybe they're a porn addict or a gaming addict or whatever. And they're in a partnership. Maybe they got a gambling addiction and they're in a partnership and their partner's like, why don't we have the money for this? Why don't we have the money for that? And they're like, I don't know, because this is expensive. That's expensive. Da, 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 da. You wanted this. You wanted that. And they're trying to negate the fact that they spend money on something they shouldn't be spending their money on. They really don't have the money for it. And they wouldn't be fighting with their partner if they did. Right? Sometimes when people drink or they use or abuse drugs, they partake in actions or words that are unbecoming and they're fucking rude or ignorant to their partner. Well, you made me say this because blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but if you were sober, would you still have said it even if you were provoked? Is your alcohol a problem? Like, my ex being an alcoholic was a major fucking problem. Major fucking problem. He goes, I'm a functional alcoholic. I'm fine. It doesn't cause problems in my life. Oh, it did, though. It cost him his whole fucking relationship. I'm not an addict. I could stop drinking any day. Okay, but you literally drink half a large bottle of Jameson, like, every day. You know, but you don't have a problem. People wonder why they have money problems, but they have addictions. Like, I don't know why I can't get ahead. I don't know why I can't save money. Well, how much are you spending on cigarettes a week? How much are you spending on alcohol a week? How much are you spending on weed a week? How much are you spending on your video games a week? How much are you spending on phone games a week? How much are you spending in monthly fees and reoccurring payments on certain things? Like, I don't know, OnlyFans or porn sites or hubs, right? Came out in the charms. Like, how much are you really spending? Because that shit adds up. Shit adds up. My ex spent enough money on Jameson in 1 month that he could literally pay his car payment and his insurance with it. But he was having the hardest time getting out of credit card debt. Addicts are liars, right? So what is it? If you have this wisdom and you're learning, right? You're learning because you have really beautiful contracted outcomes. It's literally, it was just 1 hour, 11 minutes, 11 seconds on the timer. If you're contracted to really high, beautiful outcomes, fortune, right? We had fortune come out. We had the treasure come out, right? We had wedding bells come out. We have made with love come out, right? We have this pearl synchronicity with the shell coming out. Even the water bottle, right? Water is metaphorical for love. It's the element that is tied to love. And if you need more water, then maybe you need to take in more love. Give yourself more love every day. Be honest with yourself, right? So that you can be crowned instead of dethroned. So that you can be in the hands of the divine instead of the clutches of your fears. Right? Would you rather feel blessed in life and live a full life feeling blessed from here on out? Or would you rather die fucking cursed? Feeling cursed, feeling fucking miserable. Like, what identity are you choosing? Right? Chiron holds the key. Where do you martyr yourself? Where do you need to heal? Where do you need to heal? Because the locksmith comes out with the trumpet, which is a declaration of power. It's an aggressive force who wades in the duress situations without hesitation in the cause of right. It's a lawful good card. So when you unlock the key, the force can be rather aggressive. That is in your favor, right? It's a lawful good card. So as soon as you take that Chiron lesson and apply it, that healing, and you apply it, it's like the angels sound off to the divine and say, yes, they're in alignment. Yes, they're in alignment. And they're ringing off the bells, right? They're blaring the trumpets. They're blaring the trumpets that you're in alignment, right? You kind of have to remember that, because if you don't, we got the idiot with the eclipse, and the eclipse literally came out in my hand-drawn deck in the mirror reading. If you didn't watch the mirror reading, like, if you want to know your worst case scenario, you might want to watch the mirror reading after this, because it spells it out pretty fucking clear. Okay. Then we got the Rabbit Prince, which I don't think I've ever pulled. And the Inquisitor, which is all about the truth. But, you know, the Inquisitor's brain was melting this week and having his mind blown. So, you know. The Rabbit Prince is a quirky fellow who represents the vagaries of hand-to-hand combat. The prince is battle personified and nothing if not capricious. As his broken sword symbolizes, any combatant can fall in battle, no matter how brave or skilled. This card sometimes stands for younger members of royalty or other powerful households. And then, of course, we got the Idiot here. So, if you align or misalign that Trumpet card, whether you align or misalign, it's lawful good, which means you're going to be taught with love either way. If you don't heal what you sacrifice yourself for, where you get hurt, if you don't correct that and you continue to stay wounded and sacrifice whatever you're sacrificing to your detriment, you're going to get taught a lesson in your highest good to stop doing that. Or you could just stop doing that now, right? You can heal it. Either way, you're going to heal, but one is drawn out and more painful. You don't want to eclipse your light. The Idiot, the Prince, like, you deserve to be crowned. You do deserve to be crowned, right? The winged serpent. The truth is the truth. And I think you kind of have to acknowledge, especially with the Idiot, that you can't be foolish or greedy. It can be a card of bribery, blackmail, or naivete. So grand that you see no evil. This is a loss of dignity, and dignity came out in the last message as well. The mirror reading, dignity was coming out. That's the word. If you don't know what the word dignity means, like, you should literally take the time to look it up. Just pop out of YouTube real quick and go Google definition dignity. Because I think you're going to seriously lose your highest good path if you continue to refuse it, which was also a big deal in different synchronicities that I was getting over the last couple days about the collective. Like, the doors, once the universe presents you such a grand window, right? Such a grand opportunity to be crowned and live your best life, to receive the treasure. We're not often ready for it, to be fair. But the universe doesn't care if you're ready or not. It worked its fucking ass off to align such a blessing, to align such a choice that you would choose to love yourself in the highest. When you decline the choice, by the time you realize the choice you should have made, it's too late. You got to seize the opportunity when it presents itself. Because if you miss the opportunity or you botch it, this is why Spirit guides me to do readings. If you miss the opportunity or you botch it, by the time you realize that you missed it or you botched it, it's too late. The opportunity to choose in your high alignment is here right now, and you can't put it off. You do have to trust that the universe will help you start clearing this shit up as long as you acknowledge what needs to be cleared up, right? Because it was talking about time and place, knowing and then acting, right? Knowledge and prudence is bridged by understanding. There is a time and place, but you do have to accept whatever is in your highest good to accept and then move forward from there. And let the universe guide you, right? Full faith, be unafraid. Divine loves you. It loves you. I wouldn't be here talking to you right now if it didn't. You're a blessing. You were made with love. You've been through some of the hardest stuff because you became some of the most beautiful stuff. And you got to learn that you're worthy of love, right? That you're worthy of your best version, that you're worthy of happily ever after, that you're worthy of peace, that you're worthy of respect, that you're worthy of reciprocity, that you're worthy of stability, right? That you're worthy of love. You can't sabotage yourself out of that and then curse life and say the divine doesn't love you when the universe, the divine gave you that chance to choose it and you just didn't. Right? The choice is yours right now. I want to clarify a little further with Kipper. Because I was guided to Kipper. And then we're going to get into some tarot before we wrap it up. Probably pull a guidance card too, because, you know. Exactly. How you doing, Miss Kathy? Yeah, I am. Affirmations worthy of respect. Absolutely. 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 Yeah, you got to remember that. You deserve to be respected. You deserve to be respected. You deserve to be valued. You deserve to be considered. You deserve to have someone hold compassion for you, right? You deserve that. You deserve the best. You've been through enough, right? You've been through enough. Clarify the owl with the cricket. All right, this is definitely a lover. We got the Lover's card with despair. All right. So this energy, whoever, if this is romantic, you or your person might be in despair that you may or may not make the choice, the high choice. Whoever the owl is, it could be the universe in general. It could be the universe in general. Knowing that you can't see it right now, right? Knowing that you can't see what it sees right now. And it's hoping to God that you make the choice, right? To go get your treasure. That you realign your energy to receive it, right? Because it's not a matter of manipulation. It's a matter of trust. It's a matter of knowing that you're worthy, right? The energy, forgiveness of the past, mistakes, and all that, right? Clarify the winged serpent with the reversed uprising. We've got concern and official person. 33 and 22. So if you're the owl with the cricket, let's just say that if you're the owl with the cricket, you might be in a state of despair or lack and need to choose definitively, right? These lovers are a statue set in stone. You can't be in that lack mentality, like your heart's not hiring, right? Despair, the not hiring sign in the background with the Lover's card, like you cannot sit there and tell yourself that your heart is not hiring. The universe is going to give you whatever is in alignment with you, right? Your heart has to be hireable. It's not even that people aren't hiring, right? Or that your heart is not hiring someone else. Your heart has to be hireable. How are you going to get a job, right? How are you going to get a love looking like that with your shambles energy? You can't be in your shambles energy. Can't be in your shambles energy. Your heart has to be hireable. You got to get your shit together, right? Whatever your flaws are, whatever your vices are, you need to reality check yourself, right? Stop that despair state and put yourself in full-blown hireability. that your energy looks real good because you're making high aligned choices. With concern and official person coming out with the winged serpent and the uprising, like spirit, that might be spirit's concern. Your own concern, because you and spirit are not separate. This is you being concerned about whether or not you should be wearing that crown. Whether or not you deserve to be crowned. That you deserve to be an official person. That you can commit. Not just to a lover, but to yourself, right? To your highest self. That you can commit and be worthy of the crown. That you can commit to your high aligned energy. I think that's where you are concerned. Can you choose it? Can you keep choosing it every day? Trust me, once you realize how good the fucking treasure feels, you ain't never gonna want to go back. You ain't never gonna want to go back to despair. Once you got that crown on your head and you're being admired for your beautiful energy and your beautiful choices, you would literally be a fucking idiot to eclipse yourself and dive back into your wounding. Right? Clarify the locksmith, please. Sudden wealth and wealthy man. You get your wounded ass shit under control. You'll re-listen to what I was fucking saying about the keys and when to use them. Understanding your wounds. That treasure chest charm, that fortune charm. That's Beast who turns into the fucking prince. The curse was lifted off the whole goddamn palace. The shit was golden walls and golden floors and shit. It's your lucky fucking day. Right? 777 fucking spiritual jackpot. You got to get that Chiron lesson under control. You got to get that Chiron lesson under control. You got to really shine light on it. Really shine light on it. It might take some work, but it's fucking worth it. Because you're the main character. It's your masculine energy. Might be super specific if you're a Scorpio dude. Because we got main male here. You got to realize you're number one. You're number one. Even if you're a female, that is main masculine energy. You're the creator. You're the creator, point blank, period. It takes work. Don't fucking sabotage yourself. Be real with yourself. Don't lie to yourself. Don't lie to yourself. All right. Tarot. Okay. Timestamp. I'm using the Slavic Legends Tarot. What do you need to know? What do you need to know? What insight, please, for those who would be drawn and resonate to this reading? Yeah, you already know in order to get the high manifestation that it is going to take some time. High Priestess with the King of Coins and the Knight of Coins. Clarities, please. Yeah, you know. You're going to have to go through some kind of battle. The King and Queen of Coins clarifying each other. Three of Swords in reverse. What's the battle? Further clarify the Five of Swords. The Queen of Wands. And a King of Swords. And the Wheel of Fortune. That's some shit right there. The Nine of Swords and the Hermit. Six of Coins is on the bottom. The Hierophant's on top. All right, so you might have Taurian energy. That is also Chiron. You could definitely have Chiron and Taurus. Strong Virgo energy, Gemini energy. That came out in the dice. Jupiter energy, Sag energy also came out in the dice. This is what needs to change. There's a higher perspective that needs to be understood around what the heart desires and how to get it. You got to change your fate. Fortune came out in the charms and it's out in the cards now. If you're dealing with a nightmare, a reality nightmare, to where you're cold, you have a lot of desire, right? You know what your heart desires, but you're cold towards the reality and you need to be sovereign or you want to be solo, then you have to work on that. You got to work on that. You already know it's going to be a fight on the way out. If you're separating from someone, right? Because the King of Swords and the Queen of Wands, they're not a suited couple. They're not suited for each other. The Hermit card there would have to be some kind of split, have to be some kind of recognition of what brought you two together in the first place. Was it a neediness? Was it a codependency? Like, what was it? Because that created the nightmare. You got to be able to shift your belief system and be able to ask for help without feeling like you're begging. People are in alignment with you and in your path for a reason. People have what you need at certain times because they are willing to give it. Spirit wouldn't have them in your path otherwise, or they are a beautiful mirror letting you know what you are capable of manifesting, and they're there to remind you that it's possible, right? One or the other, if they're not literally helping you outright. But you can't feel like a beggar, and that might be what's healing. The Six of Coins, he's literally on his knees begging. Yeah, Temperance is under that. That's what's alchemizing. The Sun is under that. The Emperor's under that. That is literally the trine, the fire trine that I was talking about in the mirror reading that I just did. Sagittarius was Mars. The Emperor is Aries. That's the moon in Aries. Because we have Mars in Sag and then the moon in Aries. And then Leo, the sun, is Lilith. Lilith is in Leo. That's the three-way trine, fire trine I was talking about. Literally on the bottom of the deck. You need to go and watch that mirror reading. You are not a beggar, right? Your energy is not in lack. You've got to be able to know what you want truly in your highest vision. Being open, right? Being open to receiving. Believing in yourself, right? We were talking about weighing things out. Are your wounds worth costing you your highest good outcome? Are your wounds and your pains and being shut down worth the love of your life, right? Potentially the love of your life. That King of Spades that came out in the micro playing cards and the charms is the King of Swords. The Three of Swords is here in reverse with the Knight of Coins. It's going to take some time to heal it. But you've got to be able to walk away and open up to the universe loving you unconditionally. You've got to be willing to open up to that overflow. It's just literally reconfirming every single thing that we've been talking about from the very beginning. It's tying it all in. You've got to be able to readjust your belief system. You are not a beggar. You just simply deserve the best because you're loved by the divine for being a beautiful person, for being an unbreakable person, for being a pearl, for going through the grit, for going through the discomfort and healing, right? And healing your Chiron energy. That's your value. Forgive those that hurt you. Forgive those that misunderstand you. Forgive those who taught you unhealthy coping mechanisms, like addiction. Forgive those who taught you that lying is acceptable to avoid pain or to protect others when it really is not avoiding pain or protecting anybody. It's causing problems, right? That's the reality of it. Let's get one guidance card. Notes from the Universe on Love and Connection by Mike Dooley. And then I'm going to go because it's after 3:30 in the morning and I'm up like a fucking nut. What's the guidance card, please, Spirit? What's the guidance card, please, for our beautiful Scorpionic energy? That you have options is meaningful. Rock on. Love is the presence of choice. We talked about that. Love is the presence of choice. You can choose whatever you want to choose. The universe is going to love you anyway, right? We were talking about that here with the trumpet. You can choose your high aligned path and the universe is going to celebrate, or you can choose your lower aligned path and the universe is going to sound off the trumpets and let them know that we've got a healing in order to get you into your highest aligned path, right? You have options. You can choose whatever you want to choose. You don't have to choose anything or anyone. But whatever you choose, rock on, like commit. Commit. Whatever you choose, commit. 100%. 99% is not 100. It says on the back, if you could make just 2 wishes, if I could make just 2 wishes, I'd wish I could somehow convey to you the profound depths of my gratitude for every moment of your life. I'd also wish that you could somehow know of your unimaginable importance, just as you are now to the lives of so very many. And of course, I'd wish for even more wishes. Oh, shoot. You are such a good idea, the universe. You might want to screenshot that and keep it for yourself. You need a reminder. The universe is so grateful you went through the grit because you're that kind of important. It loves you that kind of much. You are one of the universe's best ideas. All right. Please don't forget that. Please don't forget how loved by the universe you are. Okay? And we're going to wrap it up there. So until next time, y'all. I'm out. See you later.